What to do, everybody? It's your boy LOG from Where There's Smoke. Just kind of want to do a follow up stream to the kind of the one we did last night with the healthcare CEO shooter thing, and just kind of give my opinion more on that while that's still kind of a hot topic. It may be on the kind of the dying down end of the story, no pun intended, but I just kind of want to give my take on it. Any more thoughts I had kind of on it before this topic isn't as relevant anymore. I feel like it might be kind of. I mean, it'll still be going on because he's going to trial and stuff, but the excitement for now might be kind of rounding out. So I just kind of want to give my opinion. Uh, and I know for a while I was doing like new songs I was jamming and stuff coming out at the beginning of streams. Uh, I haven't heard anything um too new that I can think of by name, but I would like to shout out the Tap In podcast and the Winter Circle. They've been doing live streams on Facebook. Uh, Probably 2 or 3 nights a week and previewing like a lot of good music from the Austin area and some stuff released, some exclusive. So y'all go check that out. I've been trying to push and get those guys on YouTube, but for now it's just on Facebook. So if you're an old head or you're on Facebook, check out Bryant Woody, aka Young Woody, Tap In Podcast, and check out G Dollar on Facebook. So y'all go fuck with them. They be live streaming probably, like I said, 2 or 3 nights a week, and they be jamming a lot of pretty much all Austin local shit. So I definitely recommend that stream. And like I said, they have some stuff that's out there that you can find other places, but some of it is exclusive shit that they're previewing on the Tap In podcast. So y'all go fuck with them for sure. Let's get into the story though. Let's see. Before we jump into the story about Luigi, whatever his name is, and the United Healthcare CEO, I did see something about drones over New Jersey, and I had a little news story. So let's go over that real quick, and then I'll give my take.
Got some stuff from Radio Shack, except they're way bigger. The growing concern over what are now dozens of unexplained mysterious drone sightings in the state of New Jersey. Yesterday, the Pentagon weighed in, saying there's still no evidence the drones are from a foreign threat. But that is not all that reassuring, and there's a lot we do not.
That is not reassuring at all. Let me make sure this.
No, Tom Hansen has more.
Across New Jersey, the sense of unease is growing.
It's wild, honestly. Every single day there's more conspiracy theories.
Olivia DiMatteo is a businesswoman in Morris County who says the drone sightings have been happening for weeks.
Have you seen them yourself?
I have. They are out every single night in Mendham. You can look out your window and see anywhere between 4 to 8 of them.
Some of the devices, she claims, are the size of small cars.
Whoa, that's crazy.
The state's governor, Phil Murphy, says there's no concern over public safety. One New Jersey congressman...
How could there be no concern over public safety if there's multiple drones, 4 to 8, and sometimes the size of cars? Like, either you need to say, this is someone that we know is doing this and they are cleared with us, or... what the fuck? Like... the fact that the government doesn't have this type of shit in control, like, this is basic, easy shit, people. Like, I feel like this is something super easy that they should, like, every time you assume the government has something under control and you figure out they don't, you're just like, come on, bro.
Jeff Van Drew made waves Wednesday when he stated that sources with high-level security clearance told him the drones were coming from what he called an Iranian mothership offshore.
I hope that my experts and the people that have come to me with this security clearance, I hope they're wrong.
So I'm hearing concerns, but do you have any concrete evidence that these drones are in fact coming from Iran?
The evidence that I have comes from individuals who have expressed their concern to me, who are highly placed.
The Pentagon has directly pushed back on those claims.
There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards
Then what the fuck is going on?
the United States.
And while law enforcement...
how come our law enforcement doesn't care? What if these fucking drones, some of which are the size of small cars, what if they were dropping off loads of drugs? What if they were, what else would be dangerous or like a lot of money or something involved that they would like actually give a fuck about? Like, what if they were smuggling illegal gun parts into the country? Would you give a fuck then? It's like, at what point does this become something that the local authorities and even the FBI and the blah, 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 other national agencies, at what point do y'all give a fuck that there's large drones going over the sky that y'all don't know what the fuck they are? So basically, what this tells me is if they're not afraid or worried that it's a foreign country, it's us, right? I mean, what else would you gather from this?
Works to track down the source of the drones. There have been reports of
Get on it now!
sightings in the Philadelphia and New York City areas. For CBS Mornings, I'm Tom Hansen in.
For CBS Nights, I'm LOG from Where There's Smoke. Get the fuck out of here. Get real. They're not doing one thing.
Mendham, New Jersey.
That's some scary stuff.
Yeah. Ugh. No accountability, as always. There you go. They got drones fucking flying over New Jersey all the time. Don't know if they're personal, business, government, other country, alien. We don't know. Don't care. We only care if it's about harassing you or taking your tax dollars. Crazy. Anyway, speaking of that, or not really that, speaking of the healthcare thing and the CEO and that whole thing, but speaking of they only care when they can use things to fuck you, this is very interesting because it brings into question free speech and kind of toeing the line on what's a threat and also being like too up to date on what's going on. Maybe saying a lot without getting into the story, but anyway, a woman was arrested for telling an insurance company, "You people are next." A Florida woman was arrested this week after allegedly threatening health insurance provider. According to WFLA, the incident occurred Tuesday when the 42-year-old Brianna Boston called Blue Cross Blue Shield over several denied claims. Lakeland police said the woman became increasingly upset during the call, which ended with delay, deny, dispose. You people are next. Which is what, not the last part, you people are next, but the delay, deny, dispose was supposedly in the case with, the biggest news thing with the Luigi Mangione or whatever, and what is that other guy's name? I keep referring to him. Oh, right here, Brian Thompson. When it comes to that case, supposedly the bullets had those 3 different words on them. So it's, if you're familiar with the case, you kind of already know that. But anyway, she just thought she would pop off and kind of throw that in at the end of a call after she was like super pissed off, and she was arrested because of it. But when you say you're next and then you say the words that were on the bullets, it's almost like you're a little too in tune with the times though. Because if you weren't super, like, I'm trying to feel like if I would even ever be in a place to do that or say that. But I feel like if this lady just wasn't super up on the times, she wouldn't have said, obviously, wouldn't have been able to say that. But that's what hit a chord with this person because that's like a hot issue right now and something super severe just happened behind those 3 words, so to speak. So it's like, this is almost the curse of you being too up to date on what's going on. And man, I almost don't know how I feel about this in like terms of free speech. It's very damn near like getting close to the point of a threat. So I can see why there was action taken. But Boston reportedly told the police she used the delay, deny, dispose phrase because it's what is in the news right now. True. But if you didn't know about that, what did I just say? You wouldn't have been able to quip that up and it wouldn't have been able to use it against you. And because you thought it was on your mind and it's relevant to this thing and you thought to use it, that's the exact same reason the person on the other end of the phone didn't want to hear it, because she's associating that stuff with murder. So I kind of get it. It's a hot button issue right now. This is continuing the quote. Healthcare companies played games and deserved karma from the world because they are evil, she reportedly explained to authorities. However, Boston insisted she didn't own any firearms and was not a danger to anyone. She readily admitted that, yeah, that's exactly what I said, but I didn't mean anything by it. Lakeland Police Chief Sam Taylor told WFLA, well, you don't get to pull that back after you say it. She's been in this world long enough that she certainly should know better than you can't make threats like that in the current environment that we live in and think that we're not going to follow up and put you in jail. Boston was charged with threats to conduct a mass shooting or act of terrorism. Oh my God. The judge says, I do find that a bond of $100,000 is appropriate considering the status of our country at this point. But I think you know that it was an empty thing from a fat, sad lady. And, I mean, I get you're trying to prove a point and say we can't have this and in light of what just happened and all that. But I think the bond doesn't have to be so high and whatever. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all think this lady should have went to jail? Uh, do y'all think the bond should have been so high? Uh, and what do you think about people being able to be arrested for so little? And it's almost like exactly what the police chief said. Uh, she's been in this world long enough that she certainly should know better than you can't make threats like that in the current environment that we live in, and blah blah blah. So can't make threats, and because of the time we're in, and threats are more like less of a threat can get the same results as what used to could, and not just overall culturally of the era we're in, but just the specific time. I don't know, I'm doing a terrible job of describing this, but the specific time period we're in, of like as in this week of this fucking thing. uh but I mean, if she would have said that shit a week ago, it would have been nothing. But as I said, it's just very interesting. uh you know I guess I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of either her or even the person on the other end of the phone. If I'm hearing this, yeah, I definitely could see where it could be taken as a threat. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to watch what you say. You can't let your, you know, you can get mad and say, fuck you. That always works, because that almost everyone doesn't assume you're going to go try to rape them. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a safe one. Fuck you. It's like you're getting the most with the least repercussions. They can't say, well, you were going to, no one thinks you're gonna come fuck them. They can't say you're gonna come kill me. It's just a good old fuck you. Usually is will get the job done. But yeah, it's interesting because I'm usually on the side of free speech and anti-system, but you know, it's just hard for me to argue against uh the severity of what happened and the sign of the times and blah blah blah. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I think this was a super interesting story. Woman arrested for telling insurance company you people are next. This story it has tomorrow's date on it. These fucking complex. But I saw the story at the beginning of today, I believe. So, yeah. Anyway, let's listen to a little bit of this, and then I'll give my thoughts.
Of murdering the United Healthcare CEO. Here's what we know right now. At this hour, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione remains behind bars.
Jesus, that is blurry. What is with all this fucking terrible quality? Nearly yanked my damn headphones on trying to fix the shit. Bro.
In Pennsylvania.
If I'm gonna have to look at this ugly motherfucker, at least get the fucking screen clear. Shit, bro.
Accused of murdering the United Healthcare CEO. Here's what we know right now. At this hour, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione remains behind bars in Pennsylvania. But investigators announcing today they've made significant progress connecting him to the attack. So let's go through the evidence that police have publicly said they have. We have now learned that Mangione had a notebook on him where he allegedly wrote about targeting a CEO. That notebook is separate from
fair use,
where he claimed he was working alone.
Why would this guy have multiple? I mean, I don't know shit, but that's just a little weird to me. That he has multiple, like a notebook and separate sheets of paper. It almost, and I don't know, this is just me early on, throwing an idea out there. It almost seems like, based off of like some of the statements they're gonna read out of his notebook, and like some of them have questions at the end, almost like it's someone responding to someone or someone asking a rhetorical question. But I almost am gonna wonder, and because there's a notebook and individual separate loose sheets of paper, I'm wondering if he worked with somebody. They're not saying that. I haven't heard anyone say that. I don't have anything else other than what I just said to lead me to believe to think that. But I just saw the notebook and the separate sheets of paper, and then I saw some of his stuff had questions in it, like a rhetorical question, or like maybe someone was asked. Actually, it seemed rhetorical, but still, that doesn't seem like the type of thing you would write down for yourself to read again. But I could be wrong.
Then there's Mangione's fingerprints. Police say that fingerprints taken in Pennsylvania match fingerprints that were found at the crime scene in New York. Then there's the gun that was found.
I also want to talk a little bit about the gun. I don't know shit. Don't know shit. I want to watch a video or two with y'all here. We'll discuss it too, with everybody. I want to know how 3D printing works. I was asking Joey the other night, and I wasn't trying to like press him or anything, but I was just like, how the fuck does it work? Like, I know shit about guns. I know shit about, or I don't know shit about guns, really, to say it properly, or ghetto proper. And I don't know shit about 3D printing. So I know even less about 3D printing than guns. So I just want to watch like a video or two about 3D printing and just figure out how the fuck it works and figure out what this guy was working with. So we can, and if anyone on the channel doesn't know that either, they can watch it. But yeah, I want to know how 3D printing works and how that played in, because I think I've heard, and maybe I'll research this too, I believe that we'll watch it after this video. I believe he 3D printed the majority of the gun, but I could be wrong.
On him in Pennsylvania. That, according to police, matches 3 shell casings that were also discovered at the scene. Then there's the fake ID. This was reportedly used at a hostel in New York before the shooting, and it was found on him when he was arrested by police in Pennsylvania. And police say clothing that they obtained from Mangione is
Why make a fake ID if it's just as bad as a real ID?
also consistent with what the shooter
What was his name on the fake ID? I'm dying.
was wearing. Social media posts from a Reddit account appearing to belong to Mangione suggest he was suffering from serious health issues. The 26-year-old writing in part, quote, "It is absolutely brutal to have such a life-halting in your..."
Tonight, Luigi Mangione remains locked up in a
I gotta be honest, I do not give a fuck about that.
Pennsylvania state prison,
I'm completely out of touch.
fighting extradition to New York City on murder charges. The NYPD says its
Bye-bye, dumbass.
crime lab has made significant forensic breakthroughs in its investigation, potentially linking Mangione to the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The weapon the 26-year-old had on him when he was arrested in a Pennsylvania McDonald's matches evidence from the Manhattan crime scene.
We were able to match that gun to the 3 shell casings that we found in Midtown.
Fingerprints match too, the NYPD commissioner says.
We were also able at our crime lab to match the person of interest's fingerprints with fingerprints that we found.
I like how this guy in the white in the very back with the badge and the tie, when she says so, he just like slowly nodding, like, yeah, that's right. We got him. We got his bitch ass. Watch.
Our crime lab
Right
to match the person of interest's fingerprints
Right here.
with fingerprints that we found on both the water bottle and the kind bar.
A senior law enforcement official says the shooter left those items behind near the scene, along with shell casings that had the words deny, delay, depose.
What kind of a guy who has this whole plan and a manifesto and he traveled across the country to do this? I'm pretty sure fake ID, paid cash somewhere to avoid all this huge extravagant plan, and he didn't wear gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints, and he left his trash on the site. He left his goddamn water bottle and his granola bar wrapper on the crime scene. Someone, like all the things I just outlined, ghost gun, manifesto, travel cross country, spent cash, wore a mask, all this elaborate plan to not let anyone know who he was, and he left his water bottle and his motherfucking granola bar wrapper on the crime scene. Why am I just now like realizing how fucking Cheerio that is? Just fucking Sesame Street type shit. Come on, bro.
Kind bar.
A senior law enforcement
Say that again.
Fingerprints with
the NYPD commissioner says.
And don't they have just the dumbest looking motherfucker saying this?
So able at our crime lab to match the person of interest's fingerprints with fingerprints that we found on both the water bottle and the kind bar.
A senior law enforcement
water bottle and the kind bar. Tell me those were not found on the crime scene. Did she divulge that, or am I tripping?
Year-old hat on him when he was arrested in a Pennsylvania McDonald's matches evidence.
Of course he was arrested in a McDonald's.
From the Manhattan crime scene.
We were able to match that gun to the 3 shell casings that we found in Midtown.
Fingerprints matched too, the NYPD commissioner says.
We were also able at our crime lab to match the person of interest's fingerprints with fingerprints that we found on both the water bottle and the kind bar.
A senior law enforcement official says the shooter left those items behind near the scene, along with
he left them behind near the scene. No. Oh. Why does that just sound like a fucking lie?
shell casings that had the words deny, delay, depose, an apparent reference to the language health insurance companies use when rejecting claims.
This is powerful circumstance.
Sorry, folks. He left his granola bar in his water bottle. That's how they caught him.
Evidence, and it's going to start coming in like an avalanche now that they've found Mangione.
In addition to the gun and
what was his fake driver's license? Mark Rosario. Woo! That's a sick name, dude. Mark Rosario. That is sick, bro.
fake IDs, Mangione was also carrying a notebook, according to two sources familiar.
I'm gonna have to remember that. Mark Rosario. Till the end of the year, that's what you can call me. Mark Rosario. Bitch.
With the investigation, with this written inside. What do? You whack the CEO at the annual Parasitic Bean Counter Convention. It's targeted, precise, and it doesn't risk innocence. Echoing the language, frankly, these parasites had it coming, which was discovered in handwritten pages also found on Mangione, according to three senior law enforcement officials. The spotlight on health insurance companies has triggered a backlash online, with many voicing their anger at the industry. In New York City, fake wanted posters have appeared targeting CEOs of insurance companies.
That's a little weird. I'm surprised people are not getting in trouble for that. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to get up and go to the restroom, but I'll be right back.
It's that Centex boys, and we're out here, and we've got something to say. Man, what the fuck is going on with the world nowadays? People going crazy over little things. Another day. Another day I gotta go ahead and do something I wanna do. Ain't no one wanna do it for me. This world can be so lonely. To the top, looking back at all the lives that were lost on the way. Another day, just to pray, forget the pain. What the fuck is up with the world nowadays? People going crazy over little things. Is it even Sunday? Jesus saves. Thank God I'm blessed to see another day. I gotta go ahead and do something I wanna do. Ain't no one wanna do it for me. This world can be so lonely. To the top, looking back at all the lives that were lost on the way. Another day, just to pray, forget the pain. What the fuck is up with the world nowadays? People going crazy over little things. Is it even Sunday? Jesus saves. Thank God I'm blessed to see another day. Never know when you're gonna lose your life someday. There's a price to be paid, way worth than gold. Evilness wanna take your soul. Wake up when you're gonna wake up. The finger is pointing too close to home. Always attacking when alone.
Alright, I'm back. I just had to fix my hat. Pause. Let's see. Let's get back into the video.
An NYPD intelligence and counterterrorism.
Dude, what is with the grain on this fucking shit, dude? It's 2024. We're technologied out to the max, and this is what we have a video that looks like it was shot on a goddamn potato. This is New York fucking City. Bro, what the fuck is going on? Literally, the camera quality on my shitty less than $1,000 fucking camera is better than this shit. What the fuck is going on in New York City? No wonder y'all couldn't catch this goddamn guy. It took y'all 5 fucking days. What if this was something fucking important? Can't even fucking talk. What if this was important, goddamn it? Y'all suck. Y'all suck fat dick. Y'all should have caught this guy in 12 fucking hours. Elon, get a goddamn RoboCop to molest this motherfucker. What if this was Trump or somebody really important? This guy just shows up in New York City and shoots him with a fucking potato gun. And this is the best we got, this fucking ass video.
An official today said Thompson's murder resembles a domestic terror attack and threatens to set off a, quote, contagion.
This guy's not
a contagion. Your argument for that is there have to be a bunch of people that are borderline on the verge of tipping, just like he was. There have to be a bunch of those people that he's going to tip off and set off, because he can't create a contagion amongst people who are not ready to flip out like that. So what are you saying? There's a bunch of people that are that unhinged and just ready to break? If you are saying that, that's a problem in itself, and we should be asking why that is.
Hero. He's not a hero. If you have any issues with somebody, we don't go out there and commit violence.
If you have issues with somebody, you don't go out there and commit violence. Unless the United States government. They have no problem going out there and committing violence against any and everybody that opposes them. Isn't that fucking right? It's okay when nations do it and go to war and just ass fuck the general population of another country that they're going to war with. That's completely fine. But when it's an individual killing another individual, no. You can't do that. Only governments can do that. It's okay when not even us, but other countries go to war and just fuck people. What about Israel, Gaza, all those people killing innocents on both sides? There's no right person. By the way, everyone wants to, oh, you're on this side, you're on that side. Fuck the sides. Killing is wrong, right? If it's wrong, it's always wrong. All this justified bullshit. You know, my biggest thing is, though, our country wants to be hypocritical. Oh, killing, he's not a hero. Oh, but cops are heroes, and army veterans are heroes, and the like. So, what the fuck? What is it? It's okay whenever you have a badge on and a little helmet, and you know you're a little racist towards another group. Then the killing's okay. But when you're there's some other kind of thing you know, that may even be more morally justified than what you're doing. But again, none of it's morally justified. It's all wrong. So this guy, he's not a fucking hero. But the people who kill for the United States government, those motherfuckers are heroes, and you better respect that, boy. You better always fucking remember that.
And Stephanie
But not this guy. This guy's a mongrel.
joins us now from Huntington, Pennsylvania, outside of the prison where Mangione is being held right now. Stephanie, talk to us a little more about that Reddit account that's associated with Mangione and his apparent health issues.
Yeah, you know, Ellison, it had.
It's funny. I think it's going to be a video we're going to watch after this. One of the people on Valuetainment said it. But it's funny how, like, they have all this guy's social accounts, everything he ever did. They already know everything about him. But when it came down to Trump's first assassin, they couldn't find anything. It was hard to find it. They were slow getting the details. It's like, that's really weird. And I just think, what would have happened if this was Trump? Would they have caught him with this haste and be ready to fucking skewer his asshole so quick? Let's hope so.
Has since been taken down.
But, I mean, honestly, that's me just getting caught up in the bullshit, too, because, you know, it's all bullshit. But as far as the system goes and the story they sell, you would think the fact that this happened in broad daylight in New York City and he wasn't captured sooner and there wasn't better security footage and he even had a chance of getting away is, like, crazy for the dream that they sell of how safe and secure you are in America, especially in like a large city.
Archived, but we have verified it, and it goes back years, and it chronicles a number of health issues that Mangione had through the years. In 2018, he describes brain fog that he thought was stemming from Lyme's disease. He then goes on to talk about chronic back pain that he had. It also talks about the surgery that he had from that back pain, and said once he had the surgery, he was able to get off of the medications he had been taking.
For more on the case prosecutors are building again for being, but weapon they say was found on Mangione that ties back to the crime scene here in New York. His legal team seems to be facing a mounting pile of evidence from the weapon they say was found on Mangione that ties back to the crime scene here in New York, to the fingerprints they say that now match items, a water bottle and a food wrapper that was found near the scene in New York, as well as the fake ID that he actually gave to police in Pennsylvania. And it was, according to police, the same ID used here in New York. If you were a part of his defense team representing him for the charges he's going to face in New York and that he's accused of here, how would you begin to deal with that massive pile of evidence?
Yeah, one thing we knew is that the evidence was going to multiply as soon as they found a suspect, because up until they found Mangione, they had only one side of
Mangione.
Several pieces of evidence. Fingerprints. If you're looking for a suspect who has never been arrested before, then he's not going to be in APHIS, the national database. Some of these other things, the shell casings, you don't have a firearm to match it up with. Oh, this is now very helpful. We have a suspect who had a firearm on him. So we always knew that the evidence would multiply.
Why the fuck did he still have the gun on him? Are you a fucking dumbass? Jesus Christ. No way. That's what I heard.
As soon as they found a suspect. As the evidence builds, the defense will likely move away from a some other guy did it defense and possibly into a diminished capacity, insanity, some kind of defense like that, maybe a kind of temporary insanity, to the extent it's even available to them in New York. So as the evidence builds against him, strategically, the defense team is going to have to really think about what avenues they're going to take. And by the way, the defense team isn't really assembled yet. That Pennsylvania lawyer will not be his lawyer in New York. I can virtually guarantee it. You pick a lawyer in the region who knows the procedure and knows the courthouse for a case as big as this. He knows Altoona. They'll find someone
targeted, precise, and doesn't risk innocence. Is that something that...
Yeah, see how the thing was a question? What do? You whack the CEO at the annual parasitic bean counter convention. It's targeted, precise, and doesn't risk innocence. Who writes like that when they're writing to themselves?
Targeted, precise, and doesn't risk innocence. Is that something that the defense could argue, hey, that's circumstantial, we don't know if he wrote it? I mean, how do you approach dealing with that if you're trying to defend someone here?
Oh, I can guarantee the prosecution is going to take that notebook and they're going to introduce all kinds of pieces of evidence that will allow a jury to infer that he wrote it, even if he would take the stand, which you probably wouldn't, and say, I never wrote that notebook. I don't know what you're talking about. They would introduce officers who would say they got it from his person. It was in his possession. They might introduce handwriting experts. I mean, you don't need the defendant to authenticate all the evidence against him. In fact, most of the time, the defendant is.
Let's see what these guys on Valuetainment are saying about this. And a lot of people in the comments were saying, I'll let y'all read a few of them here. A lot of people in the comments were saying that Pat Bet David was not being as fair and as neutral with this one because he's an insurance salesman. So again, I haven't watched this whole thing through. I've watched about halfway. That's probably what we'll watch too. Just hit a few highlights, comment on the good stuff, and then maybe move on. But yeah, I thought these guys usually have a decent right-wing angle to news stories. And I found a decent amount of the stories I cover I see here first. Obviously, that wasn't the case for this. This has been all over. But anyway, I like their coverage of a lot of stuff. And although, I'm very aware that they're right wing and always watch them with a little bit of a grain of salt. And yeah, anyway, let's watch this. And I think I got, oh yeah, the stuff we're going to watch on the 3D printer. And then here at the end of the stream, I teased it in the description. I might go over a little bit of the Hailey Welch crypto thing. But I think I kind of wanted to I thought I had a video about that, but maybe not. But kind of with the theme of this stream, are we just kind of done? I've posed it a couple times, once like months and months ago, but I think in the last stream I mentioned it. Are we kind of done with people being like rich for no reason, more or less, is like the short and sweet of it. Like these streamers people you just look at them and think, why are they rich? Do they have a skill or talent or value that is representative of how much money they have? And a lot of times when people ask that question, they'll be like, no, there's person X who it doesn't seem like they should be rich. And I think there's becoming more and more of those people, and it's becoming more and more transparent with social media and the internet for us to say, okay, why is this guy rich? Why does he have millions and I don't? And I think more and more people are asking that. That's the thing with that's why there can be backlash against people, or that's part of the reason. And I think that's why a lot of people are resonating with this. Maybe not resonating is the right word, but it has made a lot of people realize that they probably always realized it, but it's making people okay to, or maybe some people are just now realizing it, and maybe some people are okay with vocalizing it, and people are kind of coming together over, yeah, fuck these big CEOs that make all this money when we're just left with like shitty products or shitty results. Like we're the ones who are supposed to be helped out by said product or said company or whatever, and then the CEO is just making millions and millions, or said streamer, that's another good example. They don't really have a talent or anything. Why do they have all these people watching them? They're making all these millions of dollars off of advertising and stuff. When do they really have a talent? Why am I not? It's this, why are they with and why am I without? And then it can go further from there depending on the profession. But I think people are really starting to take a look at that because it's in our face with, the internet and social media. Yeah, it's just plain and simple. It's in people's face, and they're starting to ask, am I okay with them having so much more than me? And like I said, there's more into it based off what they do to get that money in their profession, but that's the basis of it. So anyway, that's kind of the theme of the stream overall today, asking that question, even though these topics are things that are current in the news, that's kind of the overarching thing. And with the healthcare CEO, that's kind of brought it in a harsh way to the forefront. And we're saying, okay, this guy made 10 million, but it's because he is basically, at best, he's someone that just organizes and structures things for insurance companies. Like, he doesn't, it's not a necessary job we need. Like, we don't need, you could, sounds sad to say, but you could be gone, and you are, and like, shit's gonna go on. We don't need you for there still to be healthcare. You know what I mean? So it's like, why are you making $10 million if you can just die and everything just keeps going? Sad to say, but it's like, the CEOs, most of them we don't need, but a lot of them, even if we need them, we don't need them to make 10 million, 15 million, whatever. It's like, you can make the same amount as the guy right below you, and we'll all still be fine. So we're starting to ask, like, why? Why do you need that much more than us? Is that a good thing? And I think most of us are okay with saying no. And we're all just kind of slowly realizing this together, or at least more people than in the past. And I think that's part of the energy behind this, that maybe not we're all ready to just kill somebody, but the energy of, okay, he took it to the fucking number 10, but we're just taking it to number 2 and asking, why are y'all so freaking rich for nothing? And like, they don't even want that question asked. So anyway, with all that in mind, that's the overarching theme of the stream. The other thing I was going to point out with the Hailey Welch thing and the crypto thing, I think that's why people are quick to want to see her go, because she blew up off of something that really didn't take much talent. It was kind of a cute little jokey joke thing she said on a night out on the town when she was a little tipsy, and it was funny, a cute little flirty or jokey thing, and it blew up, but it wasn't much more than that. And I think people are like, okay, you said something funny, you said something cute, but do you need to be a millionaire? And then you're going to try to like come out with this crypto thing, and especially if it's a scam, fuck you. And people are not going to be very forgiving, and they're quick to want to see her burn and fall, because quick rise, quick fall, and people don't have any allegiance to you. It's not like you've had all these good movies that people love for years and they're loyal to you, or that you have all this music that they connected with and they're loyal to you. It's like, they have no loyalty to you. You said something funny and it was funny, but as soon as you stop providing something good for us as a people, we're like, all right, you can go. Like, hawk to it, get straight to it, and you're about to be the fuck out. So anyway, I've rambled on and on. Let's get to this Pat Bet David video, and I'll give some more commentary on it.
CEO of United Healthcare, okay, Brian Thompson, gets shot down a few days ago. 6 shots. Everyone's trying to find out who this guy is, okay? Finally, they find a guy. And the profile of this person they found is very interesting. It's not what you would have thought. This isn't a guy that, has issues of kidnapping a 7-year-old and all this other stuff. The profile is very, very different.
And see, this is what one of my friends tried to say too, that this guy was like more normal than like the weirdo lefty freaks that like tried to assassinate Trump. So there's something about them trying to make him seem like more normal and relatable. But honestly, to me, and maybe this is just me, he doesn't seem like very normal or relatable. Like, they could have got somebody a lot more relatable, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Luigi Mangione, named as suspect in Brian Thompson shooting. Okay? So now, who is he? Luigi Mangione, 26, was...
And by the way, what I just said is under the guise, which I don't even know if I believe this, but if you believe this is a total freaking conspiracy through and through, and you think the powers that be picked out who they wanted, or picked out the character, that they picked out this guy to make him more relatable, and I just feel like they could have picked someone a lot better if that was what was going on. But anyway, I'm not even sure that if there is a conspiracy here, really.
Was arrested in Altoona.
Not everything's a conspiracy, folks. Sometimes we're just having a good old-fashioned investigation here.
Pennsylvania on firearm charges, and is primary suspect in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on December 4th. Found out at McDonald's. Mangione was
He does kind of look like that one Franco dude.
carrying a ghost gun that may have been 3D printed, a silencer, and a fake New Jersey ID matching one used by the shooter. Police also discovered clothing matching the gunman's attire and a manifesto expressing anger at, ready, the healthcare industry and corporate profits. Brian Thompson, 50, was shot at close range outside the Midtown Manhattan Hilton Hotel while attending United Healthcare's investor meeting to discuss record profits. The shell casings at the scene said the phrase, deny, defend, dispose. Rob, do you have a clip to share on this one? If you want to play this clip, go for it.
How did he know he was going to shoot that many times? I guess he just knew. That's interesting, though.
Aaron, one of the most interesting parts of that particular hearing was actually his $1,000 things like that money bag, the gun when
had a story that really caught my eye, so I dove into it. I've been reading like everybody else is. I'm looking for facts. I'm not looking for wild conclusions. And said he was a Ivy Leaguer with anti-capitalist leanings. And in the article and in other places, there's consensus that he valedictorian of his high school and did a very touching address in which he thanked his parents, he thanked other people, showed a very balanced guy at that time, graduating high school, who also called out and credited a kid that was at the high school that had not spoken Spanish when he got to the high school, and here he was graduating this private high school in Baltimore.
I don't care about that, so I'm going to skip ahead.
If you type in his parents, I'm curious to know if we have anything about his mom and dad, what they do and what they did. At 26 years old, I mean, at this point of the game, what flipped, by the way?
I skipped ahead more. They're just talking about how his grandparents and parents are well-to-do and quote-unquote good American people, and why would he do this type of shit?
Telling you, a movie I
Based
went
off of like who they are.
and I walked out and I told Mars, we went with 25 of us. And at 41, 42-minute mark, I'm like, I'm out of here. The movie Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
The first one.
Well, not the bullshit one they did with
It's
whatever.
The musical.
Musical with, what's her name? Not this one, Rob, the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
Was
so
Heath Ledger?
No. This is Joaquin Phoenix.
You're thinking Batman. This is just Joker. Yeah, this is Joker.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix, which to me is just one of the most underrated. He could be on one of the top 10 lists. He's that good of an actor. And you know what the story's about? I mean, what is the story? Who
Chaos,
does he kill?
anarchy.
Who does he kill in the movie? Who gets killed?
Capitalists?
The capitalist.
Didn't I just drop? Damn, I'm good. Oh, they did it 2 days before, or a day before me. QPBD.
Why? I mean, they painted the father and the family and everything in such a way. These things matter. These things matter. You're pinning people and you're inspiring people. Now, I think once they get to the bottom of it, if the family responded that way, guess what we know? It's definitely not that one of their family members didn't get the proper care they needed from health insurance or hospital. Fair? Because if the family says that, we're so disappointed and shocked, so then could it be a girlfriend? Could it be a friend? Could it be somebody that's a coworker? Could it be an influence? Could it be somebody? It's very interesting. And by the way, who knows what some of these things could be with this guy? But
if I could follow up. So Pat said something important. I want to make sure I clarify it. He said, you can't put this whole thing on pen. I'm not. Here's what I am saying. In 4 years from that speech to when he graduated, he changed slightly. And then 3 years later, he's capable of an amazing premeditated capital murder. There's something going on.
When did
there.
he graduate from Penn? 3 years ago.
In comments and in book reviews of the companies, I think, yes, there are.
I have a sort of a slightly different angle here because...
Of course you do. I'm sick of you.
So, they say that life imitates art or art imitates life. You brought up the Joker. I'll bring up another movie that you've referenced multiple times, and that's the movie John Q. Remember that? Dead. And they do not. Will take, need to get my kid on son's life. What healthcare system?
Your statement to say
he says
the healthcare system is the reason why this has happened.
Is the reason they didn't charge him for attempted murder.
What's the point with this?
So the point is this. The healthcare system is the reason that this is happening. The healthcare system is the reason.
Dude, you can't put that like that, bro. You can't say something like
No, I can't.
Damn, Adam taught us taking 24 and the only good one. Kablawi. You can't put that like that on him.
And I'll tell you why.
For your statement to say
Because he says
the
deny
healthcare system is the reason why this is happening.
I'm not saying.
It could be one of the reasons. You can't say the reason.
I'm sure it's multiple reasons, but you don't write on the bullet or the gun, deny, defend, depose. Last week, we talked about how United Healthcare had the highest amount of declinations of
37%
of coverage, and it wasn't even close. So why did he target this specific individual? I'm not saying that this was the only reason.
Let me tell you.
But there's definitely some.
He didn't say this was the right reaction or the right thing to do. He just said that's the reason why.
Room for conversation here about what's going on in our healthcare system.
I'm not one. That's
remember,
gonna
he's
sit
allegedly
here.
the killer.
Tom, I'm speaking. We're interrupting a lot today. Like, let's just let us. You did it to Vinny. You did it to Adam. Now you're doing it to me. Let us make the point. We'll come to you. There's plenty of time. So the part I want to say to you with this one here is this: is
people in the comments hated what just happened right there, where he interrupted Tom and then he interrupted him back or whatever the fuck. I guess Tom interrupted him and then he cut him back off. Anyway, that's all I had from this one, but it's just interesting to see. I didn't watch the rest of it really, but yeah, you go watch it through yourselves if you're kind of a fan of this somewhat, or if you've seen these guys before and you're interested on their perspective on this Luigi Mangione whole thing. And let me know what y'all think, if PBD was just being his normal little self or if he had a little bit of extra emotion tied to it, because he also was an insurance person. Anyway, I was gonna check out the 3D printer thing.
This is a
We'll watch a quick video.
3D printer. It takes three-dimensional models saved on your computer and physically creates them right before your eyes. 3D printers are both fascinating and complex. Each year, the technology gets better and better. In this video, I'd like to walk you through one of these machines to show how it works. My name's Jared. I create 3D animations to show and explain how things work. Hit the subscribe button to be notified about future videos just like this one. This video is sponsored by Bamboo Lab. Realizes
If you don't
right
get to
in
the
front of
fucking
you.
video.
Today, we don't have replicators, but the 3D printer is starting to do some of the same things. It doesn't happen instantaneously, but is still quite impressive at what it can do. 3D printing is a type of additive manufacturing. You start with nothing and then add materials layer by layer until it's complete. Compare that to subtractive manufacturing. Start with a block of material such as metal, and you remove parts from it to form the final product. Notice all the excess waste. With additive manufacturing, there is much less waste of materials. This is an advantage to 3D printing. Yes, it's true. A 3D printer can be used to create all sorts of toys, minifigures, movie props, you name it. But keep in mind that a 3D printer can be used to create objects that have a more practical use. A lid holder for your kitchen, zip ties, adjustable supports for just about anything, a Wi-Fi QR code sign, and even a customized broom holder. Very useful for your kitchen. You can even 3D print accessories for your 3D printer. You're only limited here by your imagination. In the real world, there are some other interesting uses. 3D printed food, yes, it really is edible. 3D printed clothes, and 3D printed prosthetics for those that need replacement body parts. Large-scale companies are using 3D printing to manufacture products because it's less expensive and quicker to produce. Companies like SpaceX are literally 3D printing parts of their rockets. NASA is hoping to use 3D printing to create
NASA.
items when astronauts are far.
So I mean, I basically guess it's what I thought. It's just crazy to me that you can just like edit something on your computer, and I'm sure that's a little more in depth than I kind of understand. And then you send it to the 3D printer, and it just like prints that bitch out. It's like that shit's just mind blowing to me, honestly. I mean, I get it, but it's just like crazy that that actually is a thing. If anyone that watches the channel or sees this knows or is more up to date on 3D printing, y'all get in the comments and give me an experience with it, or tell me something cool about it, or let me know how long you've been doing it. I'll probably end the stream off here. Just keep it kind of short. We've been going an hour anyway. But y'all let me know what y'all thought on the theme of tonight's stream and kind of the last 2 nights, and kind of what's been brought about by this whole healthcare assassination. And do y'all think that people are kind of like starting to get tired of the rich being rich? And yeah, that's just, I described it earlier and broke it down. I think y'all kind of know, if y'all fuck with the channel, where I'm coming from with that idea and kind of what I mean. But are people tired of the rich being rich, especially when they don't have like a what we see as a worthy like skill or value or contribution to society? If they're just like rich for something like we don't see as valuable, are we kind of over that? So I feel like that's kind of the extreme of what happened with this Luigi Mangione thing, and what was it, Mark Barazio or some shit like that. I'm gonna have to look it up after this. It was something, a classic one. It almost had some Art Vandelay in it, looking ass. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought of tonight's stream. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the whole assassination thing, as it kind of seems to be rounding out, or at least for the time being, it seems like the dust is kind of settling. Y'all let me know what y'all's takeaways from it are. If you've noticed any inconsistencies, any conspiracy theories, any loose ends, or any thoughts you've had that just haven't been mentioned, or anything interesting about this thing. Y'all let me know. What are y'all's thoughts on Hailey Welch, aka the Hawk Tuah girl, and the crypto thing, and that kind of being a huge thing? Do you think she's gonna go to jail? Do you care? And I feel like there was one other thing. I guess that's it. And once again, if y'all have a Facebook, y'all go check out Bryant Woody and G Dollar on Facebook. They be doing live streams 2 to 3 nights a week, and they're really giving a spotlight to local Austin rap and hip hop. So it's dope. Y'all get in the comments, y'all get in the live. Y'all let us know what songs y'all are enjoying. And yeah, as always, let me know what topics y'all want me to cover here. Let me know what you thought of tonight's stream. Comment on anything that I've talked about, topics covered tonight or prior, whatever, get in the discussion. And until next time, that's LG from Where There's Smoke. I'm out.